Hey guys, on today's video, we look at some of the releases of the HELLRAISER franchise on home video, and it's all over the place, so let's get into it. So guys, I did a video on HELLRAISER Judgment the other day, and somebody actually said, hey, I'd like to see a video on like what you have for HELLRAISER in terms of home video. Now, I have some older, more different stuff, but I'm going to focus on DVD and Blu-ray and 4K for this, and show you guys some of the releases, because there's a variety of ways you can go with some of these, and it's just weird, like the way these movies have been released. There's things that I'm scratching my head about. Maybe I don't have all the details on something, but that's why there's a comment section for you guys to help me fill in the blanks. So, let's get started with the good old days of Anchor Bay. Now, here we go. This is my HELLRAISER DVD. Now, I bought this from Movie Gallery, and this is the classic Anchor Bay DVD of the first movie. Now, they also put this out on the Midnight Madness line, if memory serves, and they even did a Blu-ray, which was Image Entertainment, I believe. I have it somewhere stashed around here, but, I mean, in terms of high definition, there's vastly better options than that. So we'll avoid showing that one off for now. But the Anchor Bay Day was interesting because there was this for the first movie, and then of course we have with Anchor Bay Part 2. Now Anchor Bay did not, have the releasing for the majority of these movies back in the day, but they did do the first two. So you can see right here we have obviously got HELLRAISER 2 from Anchor Bay. And what's interesting was we did a video on the Anchor Bay tins not too long ago, and I'll do some B-roll now, but we did have Anchor Bay HELLRAISER tin, which had both HELLRAISER's movies in there, which was nice. It was a good release. I'll say this just because, to me, it's like physical media is always important, but I also love just talking about movies. HELLRAISER 2 to me is the best HELLRAISER film. This movie is fantastic. Yes, if they would have had more money, they might have been able to go into, what was Leviathan a little bit more, but no, they didn't need a penny more. They made the best film they could with the money they did, and it made it more creative. So I think this is the best one. Like, I think HELLRAISER 1 is like an 8.5 out of 10. I think HELLRAISER 2 is like a 9.5 out of 10. That movie, when you first see the image of HELLRAISER, in my opinion, like, the movie you have in your head is probably more daring and creepy than anything that you saw from the series. But for me, the closest thing to how intense the movies were definitely Part 2. Part 2 did the best at being the creepiest. So, yeah. Next up, this is interesting. Next up is HELLRAISER 3 Hell on Earth on DVD. Now, what's interesting about this is a Paramount DVD. Yeah, Paramount. Now, the thing about HELLRAISER 3, something happened. They talked about this on some special feature. It might have been the Leviathan, where they talked about the movies. I can't remember. Or it might have just been on the behind-the-scenes of HELLRAISER 3 on the Arrow stuff. But the rights were kind of all over the place, so HELLRAISER 3 came out on home video from Paramount, and Paramount might have distributed this movie too. HELLRAISER 3, I did a short on this a couple weeks ago. This movie's underrated in terms of quality, not in terms of awareness. Like, I go back and I watch HELLRAISER 3 every now and again. The last time I did, it had been a number of years since I said before. I was like, God, this is like always better than I would think it is, because I look at 2 as the pinnacle, but 3 it goes a little downhill, but it doesn't plummet. It just graces a little bit down in terms of quality and just in terms of how good it is. But 3 is good. I really like 3. So that is a Paramount DVD. Don't know if this is still in print, to be honest with you. It's kind of weird. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Moving on, this is the one that's kind of had its renaissance, if you will. That is HELLRAISER 4 Bloodline. This is the DVD from Dimension and Transatlantic Entertainment. Like I said, it's all over the place. It's just wacky. The disc shows Dimension Home Video on the front. But HELLRAISER 4 Bloodline. Obviously, if you don't own this movie and you're looking into getting into it, stay around, and I'll tell you guys about a really great way to own this, including the version with the initial cut of the movie, which is fairly different from what we see on screen. Next up, guys, so I had a movie gallery going out of business in my town back in 2010, so I was able to scoop up a lot of these movies on DVD. Now this one, as well as Dimension Home Video, and wow, look at the disc on this one. It's got all kinds of stuff on it. But anyway, we'll get into that. This one's not bad. This is HELLRAISER Inferno. This was I think this was the first one to go straight to video. I think, yeah, Bloodlines went to theater. Hellraiser Inferno, it's not bad. Visually, Pinhead looks really good in this one, but it gets into like where it's all these detective movies, right? And they kind of start shoving Pinhead into here. And it was a property that Dimension would just pump these movies out. This one came out in... I forgot what year this one came out. It might have been the early 2000s. I can't remember. Buena Vista Home Entertainment. Hellraiser Inferno. So look at the disc on this one. You got all the movie gallery stuff on the cover, which is pretty funny. But, yeah, that case is bulletproof, too. Like, look at that DVD case. Like, it's one of those things that has those protection grids in there, so you couldn't open it up without the machine that grabs that and pops it out. You see, it's like holes, and there's a machine that goes in and it... Or not a machine, there's a piece that goes in and it fits into those holes, so you can't physically open it. So, yeah. Technically, I could zip tie this DVD closed. But yeah, this is a DVD for Hellraiser Inferno. This one's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Next up, this one I hate. This one I find no merit in this one. This is just my opinion. You know, when you get into these higher leveled or higher numbered Hellraiser films, it gets pretty muddy, you know, to say the least. But that is Hellraiser Hellseeker. What can I say, guys? This one I just don't like at all. Again, this is the one with... Pinhead is back in Hellseeker, the next chilling chapter in the electrifying Hellraiser legacy, originated by Clive Barker. When the puzzle box is once again solved, the devastating demon Pinhead and his legion turn to unleash hell on Earth and demolish all who dare to oppose them. But standing in his way is Christy Cotton, Ashley Lawrence, the only person who has defeated Pinhead in the past, and it's up to her to save the world from the ultimate evil. Also features Dean Winters. You don't want to miss any of this Pinhead. This one sucks. Like, I really don't like this one. I like the poster of this one. Like, I would hang that up on the wall. But I don't like this one. I've watched this one maybe 3 times, at least 2 times. I know at least 2 times. And every time I would binge these movies, like, this is the one where I was just like, oh, God. So, yeah. That one doesn't do it for me. This one's bad good. By the way, that was, I believe that was Buena Vista. So, Buena Vista has Inferno and Hellseeker. Hellraiser Deader, man, is this a Blockbuster one? This is. So when my Blockbuster was going out, like, I was buying all these up. Hellraiser Deader. Look at this. Hellraiser freaking Deader. What are you gonna do about it? That one actually has a great poster. Look at that. Now this one was like 2000, the mid 2000s, I think. Again, Buena Vista. Hellraiser Deader is the latest, most terrifying chapter in the wildly frightening Hellraiser legacy. Once again, the ultimate evil, the dreaded Pinhead, leads an army of the dead who come back to life with a bloodthirsty vengeance. For an undercover reporter who becomes entangled with a deadly underground group responsible for the malevolent resurrections, any moment could be your last. With Pinhead in all his glory, the thrilling villain you love to fear delivers another hellish nightmare you'll forget. Rick Boda. So Rick Boda, this is during the Rick Boda trilogy years. So he did, Rick Boda did he did 3 in a row. He did Hellseeker. He did Deader, which, oh, I love the feel of a Blockbuster case. Like, look at that. From a bygone era, ladies and gentlemen. Blockbuster video. Gotta love it. So there's that. And then certainly last but not least, from the original run of the Hellraiser films, we have Hellraiser Hell World. Evil goes online. That is the funniest tagline. Like, when I first thought about this, I'm like, what happens? Do you, like, go on your computer and open an email and a Cenobite pops out of the TV? Oh, man. This is the one that really ended the Doug Bradley era. Like, this was it right here. You know, I don't think he was in anything after this. I think so. I think Doug Bradley did this, and then it was, well, we'll talk about it next. Yeah. End of an era right here, guys. Yep. I don't know what to say. Hellraiser Hellworld is ridiculous, over the top, and has an unfortunate... I'll let you guys go watch it to experience it, but the last line you hear Pinhead say is... He basically turned into, like, part 4 Freddy Krueger, you know. We'll put it to you like that. Next up, guys, I didn't even grab this, but I'll go look for it. If not, I'll B-roll footage it. It's somewhere in here. I have it shoved in one of the sections of the movie shelves, but I do have Revelations. It's funny because I did a video, I reviewed a 4K for Judgment, and I feel like it was split. Some people are like, the movie's okay. It was split three ways. 1/3 was like, I agree with Christian. Like, I actually think the movie's really not half bad at all, especially for a high-numbered sequel for the Hellraiser series. Another group said, I don't really like it. And another group was like, oh no, I like Revelations way more than Judgment. But Judgment is the one where there's a guy playing Pinhead that just doesn't have the right facial structure. He's actually not a bad actor. The still shots actually harm the actor more than anything, because the still shots of him you find online just look silly. But Revelations was literally just a movie to hold the rights to the series. Those rights have those licenses and rights have time limits on it, and if you don't do anything with the series, like, that's what that is. So the Hellraiser franchise is one of those examples of seeing movies literally get stuck with a company and having the lowest form of quality put out as a right reason. So what I don't get is, why not just put $3 million into a movie and you can like make it a theater movie? Like, that's what I don't get. But let's go back real quick, guys. This is the strangest thing right here. This is what confuses me, okay? The Echo Bridge Miramax Blu-ray run. This is the strangest part of this whole thing. All right, so I have two of them. So I have a Miramax double feature right here. As you will see, it's got Hellraiser Bloodlines and Hellraiser Inferno on Blu-ray. These actually, I'm going to tell you guys, these don't look bad. I mean, they really don't. Like, they've got a pretty good level of sharpness to them, and for including it, like, on one disc, too, which is impressive. And the Blu-ray cases are, like, they feel pretty good. They're not really cheap Blu-ray cases. I remember getting this, I think, brand new when it came out. 2011, yeah, I think I got this, like, brand new. Like, the Miramax Echo Bridge era was an interesting one, because you would see a bunch of their titles, including Halloween movies, get releases from them like this, like these, like they would do, like, Halloween 6 and H2O together and things like that. But this one's not bad. The picture quality. So if you just want to own the movies and you want to have some of these sequels in decent picture quality, well, there you have it. Inferno on Blu-ray. I mean, Bloodline has a 4K now, but yeah, Blu-ray for Inferno, which is interesting. But here's what's weird. I have... Okay, so I want to make sure about something. Okay, Hellseeker. Okay, Vendetta. Okay, so this one just confuses the absolute hell out of me. No pun intended. You got 4, 5, 6, and instead of 7, they go to 8. Hellraiser Hellworld. Why did they not do Deader on this? I don't understand it. They didn't do Deader. They did 4, 5, 6, and 8. They skipped Deader. I don't get it. This is the strangest one to me. Why do they do that? And I think this is split on... Well, see, this one... I don't remember if I've ever popped this one in, to be honest with you, because what's interesting to me is they've got 4 movies on one disc. 4! You know, I know I've done this one because I wanted to watch Blood. I remember when I got this, the idea of seeing Bloodline in HD was impressive to me, or exciting, not impressive. And that one looked okay. This one has 4. I'd have to really pop this back on to see. But look at that. They skipped Deader, and they put Hellworld on there. I don't understand it. Now, the artwork that they used for this, for Hellworld, is much better with the Chatterer as opposed to, you know, this. Like, look at that Chatterer artwork. That's much better. But I don't know, guys. This is absolutely bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. I don't know. Does anybody know if Deader got a Blu-ray release? I don't know. I'll have to Google it when I get done with this video. Alright, so after that, we get into some super high-definition stuff. Now, I want to talk about this. I said the exact same thing in my review. This was an awesome release. The Gary J. Tunnicliffe Hellraiser Judgment 4K. The special features on this were fantastic. But if you want to own this movie just in a cheaper way, I know that you can get a Blu-ray for Judgment pretty cheap. I think you could even get it on Diabolic, which is where I got this 4K release of. Now, unfortunately, these 4Ks have sold out on Diabolic, so you'd have to go on eBay to get it. But I did a full review on this on my channel if you guys want to see it. And I really was. I was happy with this release. I was happy with this steelbook. I thought it looked great. And I like this movie. For a higher numbered movie, especially a movie that is admittedly done for... Well, Revelations was in fact strictly done to keep the rights to the movies, which is why Bradley didn't want to do it. But this movie, Bradley ultimately didn't want to do it either because he still felt the same way. But Gary told him, told Miramax, I need a little bit more money and I really want to make a good movie, blah, 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 which they were like, no, we do as well. It was different people in charge of the Dimension at the time. But my point is, this movie, to me, it's not anywhere near a masterpiece, but I think Judgment's really not half bad at all. I really love the Auditor, which is a really great character, and the Auditor is actually played by Gary himself. So just check this movie out, guys. Get the Blu-ray of this, the American Blu-ray. You should be able to get it fairly cheap, but if you're a 4K person, you want to have something nice, this Turbine 4K Steelbook was a nice release. I did, like I said, full review if you want to see that, but you can get the Blu-ray. Now, when it comes to premium Hellraiser releases, guys, I go back and forth on which one is the best one. First up, we have the Scarlet Box. Now, this came out in 2016, end of 2016, I think. Now, this was like a huge thing when this came out. People were just like, oh my god, that is gorgeous. Let's show you guys. Hellraiser Scarlet Box came with this amazing book. Now, this thing's long out of print, but I'll show you guys. Don't worry, there's still some great options available. Now, this book obviously goes over the making of the first 3 movies in painstaking detail. So that is really cool. Really nice book. Hard shell book. Alright, guys. So, this included the first 3 movies in super high definition. This is restored in 4K on Blu-ray. And they came in these binder sleeves. Hellraiser 3, there you go. I love that the disc kind of even matches the layout of the inside. Then we have... oh, we're out of order right here, but this one actually has... here we go. All the cards and things like that for the first Hellraiser movies. That's cool, but I know you guys aren't too interested in the cards. Next up, we have, of course, Hellraiser. Here's the first movie, of course. I have them out of order in here. There you have it, Hellraiser. They look sensational. Beautiful film grain on these, you name it. And then Hellraiser 2, the masterpiece, in my opinion, with the Chatterer. There you have it, Hellbound Hellraiser 2. It also comes with, let's see. Oh, it came with a poster. So there was a UK version that came out, which had this artwork on the box. And they came in 3 separate Blu-ray cases, but it wasn't as premium as the American release. Now, where the money's at is... let me see if I can find it. Oh, right here. There's the Clive Barker Legacy. And the documentaries of Leviathan were outstanding. And on the inside of the box, it says, I am in hell, help me. So that, guys, is the Scarlet Box. Now, this was so close to like a perfect release that when they announced 4Ks for this first 3 movies, I was like, oh, that's cool, because I heard rumblings about it, but then I learned it was going to be 4 movies. That's where we get into this, guys. Hellraiser, the Quartet of Torment. Now, I've done full video reviews on this. Sensational. They also have... This came out in America this past year, so hopefully this is still available. But you can also get overseas the 4K versions, which 4K is a native region-free format, so if you order it from the UK and you live in the States, don't worry about it. This one was nice. This one included not only part 1 through 3, but also part 4 Bloodlines on 4K. And what was so cool about this, guys, was they included the original cut of Bloodline as a bonus feature. Now it looks 4:3 like a cleaned up VHS, but that was the only elements of that left. It was basically, I think, more of the Kevin Yeager cut, but it's got a lot of different scenes in it, a lot of different twists and turns. Now, me personally, I prefer what Mr. Chappelle did with the movie, but my thing is, that is physical media history, that is home video history, and that is horror history. So the fact that they gave us that is amazing. Now, the one thing I hate about this is how this red slipcase thing barely fits over this binder. It is the bane of my existence. I am still trying to get it on. I hate it so much. It is so tight. There we go. Anyway, So that's what holds your movies. It's a hard shell box, but they've got these little holes in the front for Pinhead's face. And it obviously also comes with a booklet. It's got all the same special features from what I recall. Since it was Arrow, they didn't have to relicense anything, I don't think. But I tell you, I love this box set, but aesthetically, I think you guys would probably agree with me. And it's a reason I can never get rid of it. Something about the Scarlet box, which was just 4K scanned Blu-rays of the first 3 movies, and the packaging and design of this one, I liked it. It looks like a freaking Lament configuration. But in terms of quality of picture and stuff, this is the best one. But the picture quality jump from the first 3, from this to this, I said in my review, it depends, of course, on your equipment and your setup, but at the same time, they did such a good job restoring the movies for Blu-ray. It's not the biggest jump, so those Scarlet Box releases look great, and you can still get, as far as I know, Blu-ray releases from Arrow of the first 3 movies separately, so if you want to do that too, you can. But that's it, guys. That's what I have for the Hellraiser films. It's one of the most schizophrenic home video releases for a franchise. They're all over the place. There's a Paramount issue. Some of them are Buena Vista DVDs. Then Arrow got a hold of it. And then there's a 4K for Judgment, which is a high sequel before anything after 4 has gotten one. It's just all over the place. And, of course, Hellraiser 2022 does not have a Blu-ray. I have a bootleg, but I don't want to show that because it's not a real one, so I want to keep this legitimate and official. Hopefully that one gets one. I think Scream Factory is going to get Hellraiser. I think they're going to get the rights to put out that Hellraiser movie on 4K. That's what I think. Hopefully that comes to fruition. But that's it, guys. That's what I have for Hellraiser. Let me know your thoughts on those, and let me know if you have any weird ones yourself. I'd love to know. But for now, this is your old pal CHH saying take care, and I'll see y'all next time. Huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.